Discovering Chinese dramas in 2018 opened up a whole new world of Asian dramas to me, and I've been hooked ever since. 4 years later, Tea and Soju was born, so that I can extend my love of Chinese dramas and Asian dramas in general to others out there and find a community. So, sit back and let's chat Asian dramas. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Tea and Soju C Drama Podcast. I'm your host, Liliana.
I'm Jess.
I'm Caitlin.
And this is the Drama Trio. So we're back, the three of us, to do another review together. And it's a really exciting one because we get to chat, I think, probably about one of the biggest Chinese dramas that's come around this year. It's a bold claim. We'll get into it. But that is the Chinese drama, My Journey to You. So this one has come out, I think, a couple of weeks ago from the time that we're recording. I think it was airing September time. I've got it in my notes a little bit down. But just before we get into all of that, if you're new to the Tea and Soju podcast, this is normally, the Drama Trio. We co-host, the three of us together, myself, Jess, and Caitlin, and we do all sorts of episodes together. So, anything that is, if you'd like to follow any of us on the socials, that's all linked in the episodes notes. So check all of that out. And as an added bonus, anything that gets cut out of this episode or trimmed back will be added as behind the scenes on Patreon. So if you'd like to check that out, check the episode notes. Everything's linked down there. I think that's like all of the housekeeping. I'm not going to be saying anything else. I think we're just going to jump right into this episode because I feel like we're going to have a lot to talk about. MDL description. I'm actually going to use their description because it isn't a bad one. Normally, MDL descriptions are hit or miss sometimes, but this one's not too bad, and it reads as such. The series tells the story of Yun Weishan, a spy longing for freedom who infiltrates the Gong residence to complete a mission. In the eerie and treacherous Gong residence, she encounters love and friendship, embarks on a journey of self-discovery, and finds the determination to move forward. Together with the rebellious nobleman Gong Ziyu, they grow and mature through their shared experiences. So actually, that's pretty much what the drama is. It's, a game of spies, so to speak. This is, now, we were just about to discuss this because it is classed as a wuxia drama. Like, it is a wuxia romance drama. I was just telling Jess and Caitlin before we started the episode that I posted something about this one, and somebody came at me because they were arguing that it is a fantasy drama.
Where are they getting this?
I'm not sure. Like, if you have your Western goggles on, maybe, but to me, this is wuxia. Like, this is wuxia through and through. It is the improvement of one's, like, inner force to be able to use that force and better your fighting skills. Like, there is no
it's
fantasy
textbook.
in this. This is as wuxia as it gets. Even like the fighting style is a little bit more reminiscent of the older, wuxia dramas that were way more popular back in the 90s and early 2000s. So I don't know. I can't remember if MDL, but Asian Wiki has this listed as wuxia, and to me personally, that seems like the correct genre for it. I would not say it is a fantasy drama. I think some people may see, like, maybe the way they, like, sometimes when they freeze the water or something like that, but that's not magic. That's like using your inner, like, chi to sort of like, your inner core. Like, this is, it's not like the Untamed where you could toe the line a little bit because of what Wei Wuxian does. This is like bog standard wuxia, so I'm going with that. Anyways, it is 24 episodes, but they are 1 hour, and some episodes are 1 hour 10. Like, they are long ass episodes. I'm like, great. I feel like this was supposed to be like a 30, maybe 35 episode drama, and they were like, nah, let's cut it down. It's fine. You're not going to see any of these popping up anymore because now censorship has stated episodes have to be 45 minutes or less. They cannot
Oh
be
my
anymore.
Oh,
gosh.
So
really? I didn't know that.
yeah, they're pretty strict. Like new rules
Oh.
states they have to be 40 episodes of 45 minutes or less. And if they are more than 40 episodes, they have to be split into 2 seasons. And the 2 seasons have got to be 1 year apart of each other. So it was initially 6 months apart. They have now upped that to 1 year apart. So yeah, we won't in theory
China.
be seeing China. But the thing is, like with the time of episodes, they will be fine. They can just like cut it out to like fill, because this is 24 episodes. If they really wanted to, they could have made it like a 30 or 35 episode, still fitting within the rules. So it's not
Right.
So this is an iQIYI broadcast, and it was broadcast.
I got iQIYI just to watch this.
Oh, I love I'm not a
New to the game.
I wish iQIYI would sponsor me, but I swear to me, their like setup, they have one of the best apps for me in terms
Yep.
of
I agree.
what's the word I'm looking for? Interface. That's the word I'm looking for. Like just the way that it's super friendly, like user friendly and whatnot. I love the fact that I can watch at whatever speed I want. In iQIYI, I really, really love it. And actually, they've been cutting down the amount of dramas they release, but they've been upping the quality of the ones they do release. So, now I will say this stars Esther Yu, and Esther Yu, I think her dad is pretty like influential and pretty like it comes from money. And there was rumors that actually he invested in Love Between Fairy and Devil. I don't know if he would have invested in this one too, but I'm just saying this one is expensive looking. Like
Yeah.
iQIYI must have put quite a few pennies behind this one because it looks and feels expensive, but we'll get into all of that a little bit later. So this was broadcasted from September 2nd, 2023 to September 15th, 2023. They were releasing like fairly quick. Like this was an everyday episode type of thing. So they did, I mean, it was like a, 12 days kind of release and all the episodes were out. They were releasing this one fairly fast. And the thing is, it was really hard. I watched it on air, partly on air, and then finished it, this morning before we recorded. And when it was on air, it was hard to keep up because some days they would release 2 episodes. That's like watching 2 Korean, drama episodes in one day. It leaves you barely any time for anything else because some of these run at like 1 hour 10 per episode. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but these are long. And
I felt it. Let's pause here because
go for it.
I felt those episodes. They were long. I was clocking out at a certain point. Did you guys feel the same way that they were just too long and maybe they just should have gone with the 40 minutes?
So for me personally, I'm a lover of a 45-minute episode. That's a sweet spot for me. Yeah. At an hour at the most, you're already pushing it. And I feel like my attention span sometimes is not the best. Like I need a little break. And this is why half the time I have, lots of dramas on the go because I like to switch between them. But 45 minutes feels like the sweet spot for me. I did not, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't too bad to have like, an hour 10. But I always say this, and I would be remiss to not say it. I hate it when K-dramas go over that 1 hour 10 mark anyways. So for me, this one, I would have preferred them to like go slightly longer on the episode count, but like less episode length. I don't know if they did that because each episode ends on a cliffhanger, and I suppose if they were to cut it slightly different, they wouldn't be able to do that. But it's funny because episode 23 is 1 hour 10, 1 hour 11. Episode 24 is 47 minutes. And I'm like, really? Really? So I don't know. I don't know if it was just a case of how they cut the episodes, but yeah.
I encountered this when watching Longest Day in Chang'an, because sometimes in Longest Day in Chang'an, you'll get like 30-minute episodes, and then you'll get an hour and a half, and then you'll
That's
get
wild.
45. Like it and Chang'an, they cut it in a way where it made sense on where to cut. It wasn't necessarily like, okay, we're at 45 minutes and then we're good. They went with the story flow. So sometimes it ended, I mean, most of the time it ended on a cliffhanger, but like they cut it where it made sense, not just, oh, we're at 45-minute mark. So in terms of this one doing that same thing, it didn't really bother me because of I experienced that before and it made sense on where they cut it most of the time. But I will say I'm with Jess in terms of there were a couple episodes in the middle where I was just like, oh my God, this is the longest episode ever because nothing happened. But at the same time, things happened. Like, and so I did feel it in the middle, not necessarily at the beginning or the end, but in the middle or coming up to the main event that happened at the end. I felt it.
Which we'll definitely get into because things need to be talked about. But
we need to talk it out.
Yeah, we'll leave that for the spoiler section. So I'll just quickly run through directors and whatnot. So the screenwriter for this was also the director, so he did both jobs, and that is Edward Gu. I don't think I've watched anything from him. He's done, I think it's called Painted Skin.
Problematic.
Oh, is he?
He's one of the plagiarism directors. He's the one. That's why he did the Denlu movie. That's why that was delayed so long or whatever.
Oh, the Master of Yin Yang. Is that the one?
That was him. That was him. So like he has a reputation. So I think I heard that he's now doing stuff, but under a pseudonym because he can't do anything under his actual name.
That's interesting.
But yeah, he's known to be problematic in terms of at least plagiarism. That's all I've heard so far. But yeah, he's a brilliant director. Yeah, but he's the problem. He's the problem.
Oh my gosh.
I'm really surprised they let this get this big because he's not only the director for this, he's also the screenwriter for this one. Yeah. Now, when it was airing, if there had been any rumors of plagiarism, it would have come up because it always does. I mean, till the end of the moon, they harped it on about certain scenes looking a bit too much like one of the games and blah, 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 blah. So it would have come out. I don't think I heard anything when it was airing, so hopefully it was, done properly. But yeah, there was another director for this one, and it's called it's a female director. Her name's Lulu, and she's done stuff like The End of Endless Love, Cry Me a Sad River, The Last Woman Standing. I haven't really watched anything from
me neither.
From those. So I was pretty new to both of these. I have not seen them in anything before. Now, for the cast, some places have decided that the main cast is 2 people. For me personally, it's 4 people, so I'm gonna list it as 4 people because that's how I sort of saw the show. So we have one of our female leads, Yu Su-shin. She's also known as Esther Yu. She is very well known for her, main role in Love Between Fairy and Devil last year. And she's also in things like Moonlight and Romance of the Little Forest. Now, this to me, I just need to get this out there straight away because Yu Su-shin did a brilliant job in this drama and it's completely different to anything she's played before. She plays this very, Love Between Fairy and Devil kind of character, tends to be the character she plays even in like her modern day roles. So I was shocked that at the amount of work she put in for this drama. I'm sure we'll get into it a bit more, a bit later on, but I won't say it here actually. I was going to say something, but I thought I'll leave it for the spoiler section. So one of our male leads, we have Zhang Ling He, and he plays Gong Ziyu. He was also in Love Between Fairy and Devil, but he was also in other shows such as Maiden Holmes, Sparkle Love, and Love Crossed. Now, I went back and I have actually watched every single thing that Zhang Linghe has been in.
Oh my god.
So, I think I might say I am very much a fan of him. I
Ooh.
actually I actually started following him right about the time that he debuted as an actor, and I didn't know that he was only like debuting at that time. He's fairly new. I think he debuted 2018.
2020.
Was it
2020.
2020? So
Mhm.
he's really, really new to
Oh,
the
he's
acting
fresh.
game.
Maiden Homes was his debut.
I loved Maiden
Yeah,
Homes.
I
Like
did
I
too. That was
absolutely love
yeah.
Maiden Homes.
Yep.
It's such a good drama. So he like for someone who's been acting for so even if he debuted in 2020, like he would have recorded that maybe 2019 or something. And for somebody who's been acting for 4 years, like I can't even like I can't fathom what he's gonna be like in another 5 years, another 10 years, because
Yeah.
his standard is already pretty good for someone who's only been acting for, a couple of years. So, yeah, that's Zhang Linghe. And then we have Chang Lei, who is also known, like his English name is Ryan Chang, and he's plays Gong Shangju, and he's been in things like A Familiar Stranger and Queen of Attack. Now, he's also fairly new. He's done quite a few things, but most of the things he's done is like those mini web dramas. Both A Familiar Stranger and Queen of Attack are like short format dramas, both ridiculously good. Like Familiar Stranger is one of my
Yep.
favorite
Really good.
mini series. It's done by this director that just knows how to direct these short format series, and he just works so well. So another actor who's I don't understand. This cast is stacked with what you would almost consider newbies to the game, and yet the acting is like ridiculous. I so yeah. And then our final female lead, we have Lu Yu Xiao, and she plays Shangguan Qian, and she's been in things like To Ship Someone, Time and Him Are Just Right, and See You Tomorrow. I have also pretty much watched everything that she's been in.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like. I was going through all of these actors and I was like, oh my God, I've seen them all in a lot of things and actually really enjoyed them in a lot of things. She's also a really good actress. I really enjoyed her in Time and Him Are Just Right, which are just, it's like a youth drama. So that, really good one. So that's like our main cast. I did write some support ones because I feel like they deserve a little shout out, and that is Julin Jin, who plays Gongzi Shang, who is the elder miss of the family. Like, I really loved her acting.
I loved her.
Yeah, her acting was ridiculous, but it was also so good. And then we have Su Chen Jun, who plays Jin Fan, or our green jade, not very green, but our green jade in
Air
quotes.
quotes.
And then just like the last one that I thought should deserve a shout out as well is his name is Tianjia Ru, and he plays Gong Yuan Zi, who is like the younger brother. Now, this guy, he's only acted, this is his third drama. Two of them haven't aired. This is his first aired drama.
Oh.
Exactly. And I'm like, that is insane, because he could work, like he stole some scenes, like his facial features were stealing scenes, and I'm like, how is this? And I was looking, hasn't really been in movies, nothing. This is like, he's as green as it comes.
Yeah.
Oh
This
my
is like-
god.
For him too. There's a video of him like being bombarded at an airport after this aired.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, you could tell he was not used to it.
No,
like,
because
at all.
he's
At
like
all.
green, and to
Yeah.
hit it so big, like straight out of the gate, I think we're going to have really good things to look forward to with him, because he did really well in this one. So yeah, that's like all the things about this drama. Do we want to just say very minor, no spoilers, just in general, did we enjoy it? Did we not? What
I
did
can
you
go.
think?
I can
Go for
go.
it.
Go for it, Caitlin.
So overall, I did enjoy it. But one, I was very much spoiled. Like
Mm.
in a Twitter post, somebody didn't hashtag anything,
Oh, that's
and just
so
wrote
bad.
the entire ending using names. And like, I wouldn't have noticed, but because it was so long and I was like, oh, there's the character name, I read it and then realized it was the entire ending verbatim.
Oh, I hate people
So,
like that.
I
That's
know.
Oh
so
my
bad.
god.
I know. So
At least
I knew what was
hashtag it.
coming. Yeah, I know. I
I
knew
hope
what
a
was
bug
coming.
flies in their coffee.
Right. I knew what was coming, but I will say there was something I wasn't spoiled on, which I was happy about. But I did enjoy it. I did have flaws for me. It wasn't a perfect drama by any means, but I did enjoy watching it a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go next. I had no spoilers happen for me. So I came in completely raw
You were
on this drama.
lucky. How did you
Yeah.
manage to avoid
Well,
that?
I was like, whoop, whoop, like double
Dodging
dutching,
them,
trying
yeah.
to get out from under some of these, and TikTok especially, right? Like they'll just post entire scenes. And
Oh, yeah.
I was saving what I could, but then as soon as I saw something that was like unfamiliar, I was like, whoop, we're going to the next video. So I was very careful, didn't get spoiled. However, I thought this was going to be a perfect show coming into it because all of the promos and everything that I had seen was really positive. I thought it was a stunning show, cinematography wise. This is one of the best that I've seen, up there with Love Like the Galaxy. It had the budget, it had the slow mo, it had the fight choreo. It was really impressive. And I was expecting the plot to sort of reach that same level. And initially, in the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes, I was like, okay, like this is really working itself up. Then, like Caitlin said, the middle episodes are just a lot of like nothing. It feels like a lot of sort of little infractions happening between characters that seem to mean a lot, but it's like, that was nothing at the end of the day. So almost like a lot of false alarms in terms of should I be scared for my favorite characters? Like, should I be expecting something drastic to happen? And nothing really does. And so that was a little disappointing because I felt like the plot was spinning its wheels, like telling you something's going to happen. They're planning something. They got to get out of the compound, blah, blah, blah. And the Fortnite flies and all this stuff. Like all of these seemingly important threats. And then the last 4 episodes happen. And you're like, what is going on? Like, I honestly was extremely confused. The last maybe it was like 22, 23 episodes, completely lost. I was in my notes, it just says I'm confused. Like they had like throwing names at me that I've never seen that character before, and a lot more lore happening than the middle episodes even had combined. And then, it kind of was like a magic trick, like not a magic trick, but those people that pull the tablecloth.
Oh, yeah. From a
and like
magician.
everything stays on the table.
Yeah.
Like they did that, and I was like, but wait, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I
How did
blinked.
they do that?
Yeah. So that's what it felt like. And the final episode, we're gonna have to have a little therapy session about that. But yeah, I'm just glad that I got that on video because I decided to do a Patreon reaction video for the final episode. I did one for the first episode, for the middle episode, episode 12, and I did it for the finale. And I did it. I watched back like the final 2 minutes of the show, and I'm so glad that I have that on video, like my raw reaction to it happening. And I'm just proud of myself that I have this for posterity. Like this is this iconic crazy ending, and I see what happened, like the emotions that are playing out on my face. It's all recorded. Now, did I like the show overall? Yes and no. Like Kayla said, it's not a perfect show,
right?
So I think at the end of the day, I was a little disappointed, especially considering that like I said, slow mo galore. They were also speaking in slow motion. They were looking at each other in slow motion. So I had to use my little plug-in to put this show at like 1.25, 1.5,
yeah.
because that is a little more doable than watching an hour-long episode. And literally everything is in slow motion. They're doing everything in slow motion. It's wild. Anyway, so that's my thoughts.
For me personally, I really did enjoy it. Now, was it for the story? Not necessarily. I think the story lost a little bit of steam.
Yeah.
But I also think this drama, I have to applaud it for staying true to what the drama is by the end, because everybody wasn't really everybody was kind of expecting a certain ending, and they went the completely opposite direction of what everybody was kind of expecting, because they kind of give you a glimpse into what it might be, and then they go, fooled you, not gonna go down that route, and then they went a different route. So I was, it was interesting that a C drama did that, because C dramas tend to prefer a different type of ending. I'm trying not to spoil over here.
No, don't spoil it. But
section.
I see what you're saying. It was bold.
Yeah, it was bold of them to do it. Now, this, I think I have to commend this drama. For me, it's been one of the ones that I've watched, albeit I don't watch a lot of wuxia. It kept me interested. Like, I was interested throughout the whole story, which doesn't tend to happen a lot for me in wuxia in general. I tend to try them, but they just don't grab my attention very much. But this one, it did. I loved the fact that the female characters were not by any means weak. Even if they appeared to be, they were like masterminds of their own. And I loved how they played the game just as well as the men. And like, that to me is something that I want to see more of in dramas in general. So that's probably, one of the favorite things that I, really enjoyed in this one. So I think overall, it's not a perfect drama, but it is not perfect, but it is like probably one of my favorite wuxias that I've watched in a while. So I think I'll leave it at that.
For me, I love wuxia. Like, I don't know why. I haven't figured that out yet. Because I like Shansha as well. But this one, I'll agree. This one is one of the best I've seen recently, because I haven't seen one in a long time. But I agree that it's one of the best I've seen.
I like it better than The Untamed. Shots fired.
I was going to say shots have been fired.
Sorry.
Well, it does have it is a lot more pro-female, isn't it?
True.
Yeah.
I think it's just different genres. I mean, they may be wuxia at the end of the day, but one's a BL and the one is definitely not a BL. Although
it could be.
It could be.
We'll get
gotta talk about that.
We'll get into it, because there definitely could be a couple of instances there. But yeah, I think that's it. That's as far as we can go without any spoilers. So this is your warning from now on. If you haven't watched it and you don't want to be spoiled, go watch it, come back and listen. Because from now on it is like spoiler central. All spoils are on the table, and we're not going to go in any particular order as normal. It's just going to be whatever flows in terms of conversation. So where would you guys want to start? Do you want to start characters or do you want to start story? Like, where would you guys want to start? Shall we go?
Let's do story so that we can talk about that ending.
Okay, you want to get Jess wants to get right into the ending first. Right, let's talk the ending, because to me that was it was not the ending that I was expecting, but they're building it for a second season, so they're leaving the door open for a second season. That's very, very obvious. They kind of tied everything, but kind of didn't. They tied like the plot of this story, but opened up another story. I think that's how I kind of saw the ending. But that last, it wasn't even the last episode. It was like the last 5 minutes. I'm like,
right,
what is happening? Everybody's well, I was expecting pretty much everybody to die at this point because everybody
Same.
was like so I was like, the fact that we had such a low body count in the grand scheme of things, I was surprised at that. But
I thought Jim Fan was gonna bite the dust.
I thought so. I thought he was a goner, and I'm like, he's a red, like he's not even a green jade. You know, that's a whole other can of worms. But he's supposed to be a lot stronger than this. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, what do you guys think of the ending?
I mean, I was completely spoiled on it. So
Oh, was that the part you were really spoiled
Oh, it
on?
was like literally they were like, this person almost dies. This person has a twin. This person, like literally every character they
Oh,
listed
that's
out and
really
said what their
crappy.
fate was going to be. Like it was nothing was left. The only thing that I wasn't spoiled on was the brother that came back.
Yeah, that was
like,
a
well,
big
let's
reveal.
That's okay.
Okay,
So
so I'm gonna start here because I have a problem with that.
Okay, let's go.
so-
from
okay,
there.
go.
Okay, so I knew he was gonna come back from the spoiler tweet, but I didn't know why he was back. I didn't know how that came to play. I didn't know like his whole role in the entire plot of the entire drama. So I, on one hand, I liked the fact that they put in this huge twist that he had like kind of orchestrated a lot of this stuff. At the same time, though, I was like, is he really necessary? Because you already have this built-in Wufang organization that we definitely didn't meet everybody in this organization.
Oh no.
So why did you introduce him as the big bad at the end
I see what you're saying.
when you already had this built-in organization? And then you're obviously going to have them as the big bad in season 2 if that ever happens. So like I didn't think he was necessarily needed because you could have still done what you were going to do at the end by like basically like either introducing another Wufan spy who like had been there the entire time, or like introducing somebody coming in and being like, yeah, I was in and out of here the entire time, Wufang again, or even just him being a Wufan spy.
I would have
Like,
rather that.
He didn't
option.
have to be like, he didn't have to do this whole entire plot thing for his own means. Like I didn't understand that part of it either.
Yeah, his motivation.
Like, why not make him a Wufang spy?
I agree.
I think it's because part of his reasoning in his head was the fact that he wanted to wipe out everything in Wufang. So
Right.
basically, if they detonate that, what's the name of it?
Infinite heat.
The infinite heat, that is literally going to take out everything, which means
Yeah.
it'll take out everyone that is not protected within like their tunnels and stuff, which Wufang don't necessarily have access to. So in theory, it would wipe out the whole of Wufang, which is his whole reasoning for it, is that he is clearly not strong enough to take over, but he wants like the bloodshed to sort of stop. He wants like the revenge, like he wants revenge on Wufang because they've killed some of his people, basically. I think that's what I got out of it.
That's what I gathered too, but I still don't think it's strong enough. I would have rather he was the last Wufang spy that they planted, and that's why he wanted the infinite heat rather than
Or like he maybe could have started out like that, but then maybe teamed up with Wufang and became Wufang. Like I didn't understand why they couldn't connect him at all to Wufang and just made him out here as the big bad and manipulating everything for infinite heat, and that's it. Like it wasn't needed at all.
Or I also could have just had like a Joker type deal where he had no revenge. He wanted chaos. He was like deranged. I would have preferred that or the Wufang plant.
They do say that he cultivates this specific type of energy, and that energy to push past to the last level, which is I think level 10, does drive one crazy. So whether he was by that point or not, I don't know.
Still
Yeah.
not enough.
I'm
me.
not justifying it. I'm not saying
I see you're bringing the lore into it and what his cultivation tactics and stuff, the sutra that he's been doing. It is impacting him negatively, and they're saying like, oh, you can't handle it, you're gonna go crazy. That's basically also contributing to why you're so whack right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
What
know.
I
But it was like last episode or two they revealed this, that he had his giant speech for the
And I mean, like, when
duration
he
of-
came back from the dead, I knew he was bad, but I
Correct,
assumed
same.
he was the Wufang. Like, I didn't assume this was like his own thing.
Yeah,
So I didn't like that part.
he took credit for it too much as
He
well.
did. He did. He really did.
I don't
well,
know.
he
I
set
didn't
a
like
lot
it.
of things in motion, but
Like he knew too much. I don't know.
I don't know.
It was very convenient.
I suppose, yeah. I suppose
Yeah,
I
they
get where you're
used
coming
him as
from.
again, like I think they wanted to use a Wufang as the big bad in season 2, so they didn't want them to be a season 1 big bad. But
Well,
I was like, it didn't. Why not? Like, what? I didn't see a problem with them doing that.
Especially since they already teased these two like top
Yeah,
Wufang people, the Liang. There's two Liang, and we've never seen them. None of the people in Wufang know who they are. So it's like, oh, perfect, just make him one of those. And then the other
Right.
Liang, or the chief person that we've never seen either, just shrouded in shadow and veils, can also be the big bad for
but the
season
thing is though, if they were to make him like a Liang, he's not strong enough, not clever enough to be one, I think. Because like
he's clever enough to bring the Kong family to its knees for the duration of 20 something episodes.
well, but
So
that's
I
because
feel like
that's because he's the son. I mean, they're not gonna exactly turn on, on their brother that easily. Like to have I don't know, they'd have to have a really, really strong reason, because why would he like want to be, because he grew up as a Gong son, and not just that, he grew up as like a pretty well liked and preferred Gong son. You'd have to give him like a really, really good reason for him to be like part of Wufang, as opposed to do you get what I'm trying to say? Like
they could have done it though. They could have given him that reason that's like, oh, they won't let me practice this sutra here, and I'm feeling like I need to do that to become more powerful or whatever. And then the Wufang come through and they teach him how to do this heart,
or even just blame it on the sutra. Like he became more crazy as he went levels and decided to go with his craziness and go to Wufang instead. Like it messed with his mind. Like you could have done it that way.
I'm with Caitlin on this one. I don't think that it was done necessarily that well. It was okay for what it was, but I think it was disappointing at the end of the day, especially because for anyone who's watching, the brother comes back and you're like, oh, something's up. Like he can't just be alive this whole time. He's super sketchy.
Like the thing is, straight away that he's not, that something is wrong with him. But yeah, I don't know.
Wasn't he also not a real blood related son from the former sword wielder?
I think he was. I think he
I thought he
was.
was too.
Really? Then why did I get that in the last couple of episodes that he was like adopted?
No, I think you're confused. I think the one that was they did mention adoption, but it wasn't like when it, towards the main Gong family. It was like one of the side families that had an adopted son. They do mention that. Are you not confusing it with that?
I think no. I think he was like adopted. He was like, I was given all of this, prestige, and I was allowed in. I'm telling you, I thought the elder son, the evil dude, was adopted.
I don't know.
Yeah. Then I was like, oh, so they're not even,
because I thought
they're not brothers, really.
I thought he had the same mother as Al-Mayalid.
No, that was not his mom. That definitely was not his mom, because she only had one kid.
Okay. Well,
I would have. You know what I was waiting for? Speaking of the mom, I thought she was gonna come back from the dead, and she was part of Wufang.
Is this the one? Is this the one that is played by the actress that I'd rather not see in dramas again, Chengdu Ling?
Yes. Yeah. I thought Chengdu Ling was gonna come back and be the top of Wufang, and she faked her death in the Gong family,
right?
Because she had a lot of beef with the Gong family anyway, and she was extremely unhappy. And so I was like, oh, she's got all the reason in the world to like get the fuck out. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
she
don't
still
know.
could come back
She
if they
could
do
come
a
back.
season 2.
Please don't. We don't need her. Give me anybody else but her. Like this actress, just I just can't with this actress. I really can't. But yeah, I I have my problems with this actress in general. But
Also,
I
my
will
question,
say,
I have a question about Shan Guan Qian, because
yep,
she dipped, but did she leave with the actual like infinite heat
no,
thing?
no,
What did
no.
she leave with?
She didn't leave with anything. So basically,
Oh,
what happens is in that scene, one, she's telling Gong Shangju that she's pregnant, that she's carrying
yes.
his baby. He sneaks the tablet out, and then his brother
Yeah.
comes
Oh.
running, and his brother is like, why are you letting her get away? And he shows him the tablet, and he goes, I wouldn't have let her get away if I didn't have this. He takes it away from her. So she just like
Oh, I just
runs
saw that
away.
wrong then. I thought that he was giving it to her or something
No,
like
no, no,
that.
no, 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 no,
No.
no, no.
Okay, never
He
mind.
took
Never
it
mind.
back. He took it
So
back.
he took it back and then she just left with her life and the baby.
And the baby. And the
And
baby.
they
Which
had
I
sex.
don't
Well,
know if she's
they had
actually
sex when she
pregnant.
really, because
I
I
mean,
thought
I
for
had
sure they had sex
doubts.
in that bath thing.
I had
Well,
doubts.
the thing is, I don't know whether she's pregnant or not because, right, this is my thing. Everybody and their mother were going crazy for the second. Well, I say the second couple. They're not the second couple. To me, they're like a main couple as well. But
The
everybody,
co-couple.
yeah, everybody was going crazy for like this CP. And I will say their chemistry is insane. Like their chemistry is really, really good. But their story, like, it is toxic. It is like
Oh,
toxic as
yeah.
heck. And the thing is, like, her mentor, her Wufang mentor, says something, and I completely agree. And actually, it describes her character very well.
yes, he
It's
said
the
in the
fact it
last
says,
episode or
yeah,
something.
she goes, oh, then I have no weakness anymore. And he says, yes, you do. Your weakness is that you love yourself too much.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is so true because
Yeah.
Yes.
all she does at the end of the day is for herself. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I commend a woman who is strong enough to do that, to like not care about anything else. But the thing is, she could have also just as easily like become part of their like little, trio, their little
Quartet.
quartet, exactly, and like been part of that. It was her choice not to, because
Yes.
I think they kept giving her opportunities for her to like be like, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
Yeah, they left her alone for a really long time when everybody knew that she was a Wufang
spy. And yes,
Yeah.
it did work out for them because she was relaying the messages that they needed her to relay back to them. But at the end
But
of
she
the
failed
day,
every test.
exactly. At the end of the day, it's like she could have rethought. She could have given them wrong information. She could have done anything. So I don't know if like her being pregnant and her like telling him that is just so that he'll let her go and he'll let
Mhm.
her live.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. I don't
That
think
same.
she's actually pregnant.
Yeah. I
Because
think it was a lie.
because you see her later on, and yes, she's just living her life, with her flowers, and I'm like, great, but she doesn't look like she's pregnant or anything like that. Now, obviously, we don't know how much time has passed between, these events, but still, I don't necessarily think she was. So
Yeah.
we'll it'll be interesting to see if there is a season 2. I'm sure they would bring her back, and then it'll be interesting to see, because now it's like, also the biggest thing about this story is that it ends on a cliffhanger. It does, because
Like a serious
cliffhanger, because he's like desperately waiting for her to come back. She's now free and whatnot. So it's like, great, but who's coming back? Is it her or is it the sister? Now, the twin sister, let's
Yeah.
talk about this twin.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this twist because when she became a bride in the first place, you saw the face. It was not the face of a twin sister.
No.
So I'm like, who the hell did she portray then? Because it wasn't a twin sister. Because that was not the face that you showed us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Whether this twin sister thing will ever be picked up upon again, I don't know. There's no utters at anything at all about a second season. There's nothing.
That was my big thing, is like, I mean, I don't necessarily need it to be like confirmed there's going to be a second season, but at least give us an idea that there's going, like, I understand why they didn't, because like people either wouldn't have watched it knowing that there was going to be a second season, or they would have like not been as surprised, I guess, by the ending. But I wish we would have known that there was like a second season in the wings, or at least they were discussing a second season, something.
I think though a lot of the time what they do when it's kind of like shooting their shot when they do these endings, isn't it? Because they kind of think, okay, let's try and see, let's put this ending out there, and then let's try and see if it's if people are gonna, muster up the want for a second season, and
Right.
that in theory brings back investors and it brings back money because
Right.
because if there's the interest for people to want to watch a second season, it's way easier for you to get sponsors and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's what they were trying to do, if they were trying to like shoot their shot with this ending and like trying to gain more sponsors for a possible second season and leave that door like ajar for the story to be told that way. But I don't know, because there's been a slew of dramas recently where the endings are like half baked or open ended. It just seems to be the
Starry
trend.
Love.
Oh my god, the Starry Love is one of the worst ones. Till the End of the Moon is an open ending. But I will also say, if this drama had been like completely tidied with a bow, pretty bow on top, everybody, I don't think that would necessarily be true to the drama, because that is not like, the drama is meant to be like dark and grittier in terms of tone. If it was just like completely, everything's solved and everyone's happy, I feel like that wouldn't necessarily fit the tone that the drama had set for 23 episodes or whatever.
I just think the ending didn't make sense for what was introduced and talked about in the entire plot. Like, as you said, she didn't have a twin at the beginning, and then she had this whole like sister relationship with the other assassin,
which was really
great,
impactful.
which was impactful and great. But then she had a twin on the side. Like, why did she have like an actual sister over here? And also like the whole thing with the whole twin thing too is like I think it was like 22, 23 when she like showed off her fighting skills in front of everybody.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, that's the fighting skill of the Fong family. Which one, I was like, Wu Fong, you could not have come up with that. like it was right as day that the Wu Fong was a Fong family. Like, you just realized this after how many years? But like it
no, but then you have the elder in the corner going, Wu Fong.
Wu Fong? Yeah,
exactly. Put it together, and I'm like, bro, it's staring you in the face.
So what I don't, obviously she's not a Fong family member as far as I'm aware, because like they said that like the Wu Fong, that was the fighting style they taught their assassins. So it wasn't necessarily everybody's the descendant of the Fong family in that. I actually kind of wanted her to be a descendant of the Fong family. And it would make more sense in terms of the twin as well, as they're like the last survivors of this Fong family, and just so happened to like have been raised in the Wufang, not knowing they were actually part of the Gong family. Like
Separated at birth.
exactly.
Well,
I would have liked that more than that randomly from this town, and she randomly had a twin sister there the entire time.
well, I think what they were trying, they could very well go down that, if there's ever a
Yeah.
second season, they could go down that route. Because what she said is that they called her, you was her last name, and she'd always thought that was the name that Wufang had given her, and it wasn't. It was her original name. She was plucked from her family, and then like she only found out that she had a twin and everything, and that's the truth of her identity when her mentor died and left her that letter. And that's like, I think, where she
But
kind
did
of
he
find
really
out
leave her that letter?
Right.
you don't know, do you? Because it could
don't
have
know.
possibly been Wufang leaving her that letter to get her to that place
Exactly.
so that they could swap her over. But even if it's the case, like if there is a season 2 and if they swap the twins over, like these men are really clever in this family.
Yeah.
Very true.
The twin is not going to be able to fake her martial skills, the attitude she is, like, just because she's not, in theory, she's not a Wufang spy. And she hasn't been. She's just been living this idle life.
Here's the thing, like these boys are over here like, you're walking wrong. Like, I know that you practice martial arts just by the way you walk.
Yeah,
so there's no way that this they're breathing wrong. They're suspicious over there. It's like, oh my god, I can't do nothing. They know.
The only thing they could do is send the real you back, but
No.
with the threat now that they are holding her family, because that is something she could hold on to, I suppose. But there is, I don't know, because there isn't that connection there between her and her family, but still, that is her twin sister and supposedly her parents, I'm assuming. So, they could blackmail her into it, but she's smarter than that. Like, our girl is definitely smarter than that. So, because they definitely played Wufang like a fiddle, but I loved that aspect of it. Yeah. Saying that, shall we transition into like favorite characters? Like, who was like some of your favorite characters? Like, if you had to say. Now, I have a bit, mine kind of changed along the drama. And originally, like, I will say, I think our female, Yusu Shin, STU, the character she plays, I really, really loved her character. I loved, like, seeing her change throughout the drama. But for me, like, Zhang Linghe's storyline.
Yeah,
like,
he's my fave.
He's my favorite because, like, and I find this really, really interesting because when people were watching this live, like, as it was airing, a lot of people didn't like his character. They thought him to be weak. They thought him to be, immature. They thought
so did everybody else in the show.
Exactly. And that played in his
favor.
That played in his favor. Like, to me, he had the most character growth out of all the characters. He went from this pampered kid into somebody who could lead the Gong family and who the rest of the family is proud to follow. Saying that, I also loved like the brothers just in general. I like the relationships that brew between the brothers, and like when like that ending scene when he kind of like the older brother goes into and he's like,
that's a good scene.
Yeah, that's a really good scene where he's like, wait, you're the one who has been pushing me to be better. And I'm like, this is exactly what an older brother should
iron
do.
Sharpens iron.
Exactly. Like, and the thing is, you can see like this character, like I always forget his name. Gong, which one is he? The
Gongju?
Yes.
Sangju.
Yeah, Shang-Ju. So Gong Shang-Ju. Like, I love the fact that people look at him and he's like this very cold character, but then like there's glimpses of what's really inside. And that
Mhm.
like last scene between him and Gong Ziyu really shows that off. And the
Mhm.
way he's just like becomes this kind of like kid again when he's like thanking his brother and like the smile that his brother gives him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love that scene. I will say the relationships in this drama was something that I really, really enjoyed watching them develop throughout. But yeah, I think Gong Ziyu is probably my favorite character. And then
Mhm.
probably Yoon Wei Shan, so our female lead, and then Gong Shang-Ju. Like the three of them are probably, some of my.
I thought that I would like Shang Quan Chan a lot. That's
Mm.
Lu Yu Xiao's
Hmm.
character. But I think that ultimately she was too slippery of a persona for me to like get behind fully.
Mm.
And yeah, she's like a narcissist.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I didn't necessarily buy into that second couple, the Gong Shanzhui and Shang Guanxian, because he never knew her. Like,
No.
to me, he's catching feelings for her, but like there's nothing there. Like everything that she's saying and doing is a front. It's a lie. It's fake. And so he never really knew her. So that's why I'm like, yeah, they might have like an attraction for sure. They have definite chemistry, but she's never truthful. So
But even us as the audience, we don't know who she is as a character
exactly that
because
too.
we've only seen her facade as well. We don't really see, like, all we see is her.
Glimpses here and there, like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
flowers
yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
like, okay, a couple of moments where she doesn't necessarily have to be, or how do I put it? There's no audience there for her to be
Exactly.
acting in front
Yeah.
of. And then, oh, okay, like there's a moment where she looks a little moved, or she looks like she's really caught up about the fact that he, you know, negated her in some way or shape or form.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, like she maybe feels a little something, something, but like again, not enough for me to sit here and be like, she's my favorite character. She grew so much. I
Mm.
love her arc and I'm fully behind her toxicity. And like they're both red flags, but at least in the end, they gave him sort of like a redemption,
Yeah.
but they haven't done that for her. So
No. No. And I think it's the fact that she kept manipulating right until
yes.
the end. Like, I wish there would have
And
been.
she had no reservations about
Mm,
manipulating
mm.
and going behind these people's backs and betraying them. There wasn't a moment where she was like, maybe I should go help out those two brothers
Yeah, I don't want to do this any like
fighting
there
against,
was
yeah,
I wish you would have seen a little bit more like even just a
humanity.
second thought. Yeah, humanity. That's exactly what it is. Like I get it. She's been honed to be this weapon. That's what she is at the end of the day. And it's exactly like, her mentor said, you love yourself too much. And like for one, I do agree, like great. I love seeing a female character that is like not gonna bow down to the men and it's not, she's gonna do what she wants to do.
And she's not
You know,
fighting fair. Okay, fine.
exactly. But
But
yeah, I wish I would have seen just like I didn't need to see like a complete 180 change because that wouldn't have been believable from her character, but I wish I had seen a little bit more of a transformation from her for me to be like I could see these two actually like getting to know each other and falling in love. So to
mhm.
me, like a lot of people were really mad that they ended up separated, but actually I don't think they could work together. They would have to like relearn each other
Yeah,
because
they would have to
I
start
don't
over.
think the thing is, I don't even think she herself knows who she is
Yeah.
outside of being this like pawn in a game, outside of playing games and being like this, person who is her, I don't know, a Wufang spy. That's kind
She
of like her
never
thing.
And you never established for her that what she wanted ultimately was freedom.
Mm,
Like this, that
mm.
was Yun Wei Shan's whole
Exactly.
thing. She
Yeah.
wanted freedom. She wanted the freedom to choose as well. And for her, you never established that. She doesn't have that want or need.
Mm.
And I thought in the final episode or the final two episodes that there would be a point where she saw that this was going left for the Wufang. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh,
I'm
well,
gonna
why
flip
am I still
sides.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah. why
It's
am I
time
still
to
here
slip
fighting for the
switch
Wufang?
sides.
I'll just switch sides, or I'll do something to sabotage the Wufang, or I'll just get out. Like all she does is try and get out, but she was still trying to get the infinite heat. Like I didn't understand that. Like for who? For what?
I don't understand her motivations.
Yeah.
Like I can get behind the motivations of, wanting freedom and wanting choice, but I don't understand her like what drove her character. I didn't. And the thing is, she says a lot of things, but it's like what is truth and what is lie? And I feel
Mhm.
like that's what makes her character very complex. It's because we don't know. It's not just the characters that don't know like who she is and what's truth and what's lie with her. I feel like any of the characters don't know, but I think she doesn't quite know herself either anymore. She's kind of like got lost amidst all of it. So
Mhm.
Caitlin,
It's wild.
jump back in. What's some of your favorite characters?
Listen. So, okay, so first off, my favorite characters was Gong Shenju,
Okay.
his brother, and um probably the sister. I like the sister a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm,
Um
Do you
just
like the
because
toxic bros though?
I did. Like that's the problem. I loved them as a couple. I'm like realizing they were like full on red flags and like it was not going to work out and they were not good for each other. But I don't know what it was, but like I loved them when they were on screen. And I honestly found myself thinking sometimes that they had more screen time than the main couple, which was not true, but for some reason I was
Felt
like
that way.
mm.
I remember thinking like why are they on screen so much? um I loved the second couple. I liked the first couple too. Like both couples were great together and I loved both of their story arcs and I do realize the second couple like they were not good together and were
They're
very
terrible
toxic.
together.
Toxic.
I'll lie to
Very
you and
toxic.
you lie to me, and then I'll
But for some reason I
cycle.
loved them when they were on screen together. And I think it was because um
It felt
for
like a
one,
dance.
like yeah, it felt I think it was like a will they won't they type of thing where it was very clear like Gong Shenju, I loved him as a character. One, when we first meet him, I love that he was like this cold, very militarist like
Mm.
person who was like everything by the book. I'm going to do everything for my family, that type of thing. And then you slowly see him start at one point caring for other people, not his family. And then he obviously realized that she was a spy and turned things around again. But I'm a sucker for those type of relationships where like the cold person starts feeling
Mm.
outside of like what he's known like all his life. Um and yeah, I honestly think it was just the will they won't they type thing. And like, will she actually run away from Wufang and be with this family? Will she betray all of them? Will he find out? What will he do when he finds out? So like, I was definitely not like, because I knew the ending, I knew they weren't going to be together. So like, and I don't think I would change the ending even if I didn't know, because I will agree it did not make sense that they would have a happy ending. Um, but I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them.
It
I
was
both
juicy. It
so
was
much.
juicy stuff.
I will also say and give it props. Those two have really good chemistry on the
Yeah.
screen. Like
Yeah.
they've been promoting the heck out of this drama because
Yeah.
Zhang Ling He and Yusu Shin, both of them are recording other dramas right now, and even when it was airing, so they couldn't be actively promoting. Whereas Lu Yixiao and Ryan Chang, they were not. So they were the ones attending like doing fan meets and
Yeah.
whatnot. Actually, there was a bit of a controversy about that because
It was. Yeah.
yeah,
I heard about this. Yeah.
there was a
Explain it for those who don't know.
So basically what happened was Aichi put on a like fan meeting kind of, promotion event, and basically they kind of like used the poster. So people kind of assumed that Zhang Linghe and SCU as being build as in, so they're all build like as main, the four, for me they're all main characters, right? But SCU and Zhang Linghe are like build first on the list. So people thought they were coming to, this show, and then it wasn't. It was like, Aichi made it seem like the whole cast was going to be there, especially like SCU and Zhang Linghe, and they weren't there. And the ones who were like promoting and heavily, pushing it were Ryan Chang and Li Yu Xiao. So people were like mad, and yeah, they like pulled the posters down, put new posters up, and it's like, dude, have you seen Zhang Linghe is booked and busy?
Yes.
He is literally
he has had 4 dramas out this year.
It's insane. And we're not done yet, because if they do not give me the story of the Kuning Palace by the end of the year, I am gonna revolt.
That's another one.
MDL says 2024 now, though.
No. Rumors, word on the street is 31st. So or they may push it to November, because November it is rumored for the story of the Kuning Palace, Love Myself, Love My Voice, which is one with Zhou Yu and Tan Jianxi. He's the main guy from Lost You Forever and a bunch of things. Under the Skin, main guy from Under the Skin. It's really, really good. I'm really excited about that one. And there's one coming out which is called I can't say it. It's Derailment. I don't know.
Derailment.
That's the word. I can't say. They make.
I want to watch that one so bad.
For me. I really, really want to watch those. Yeah. Now, the new rumors is that those 3 are planned for November, which would make sense, because one of them is iQIYI, and then I think one of them is WeTV or Tencent, and one of them is Youku. Yeah, Youku. So it would make sense that like they would go head to head with all of those. So yeah, I'm very excited. If they don't give me that, like, I just want to watch the story of Kuning Palace so bad at this point. So yeah, but back to the matter at hand, I got sidetracked. Zhang Linghe is literally going from one drama to the next, to the next, to the next. Like, he's filmed, never you mind the ones he's released. I think he's filmed like 3 dramas this year alone. It's insane. Like, the next thing I hear, like, that pops up is Zhang Linghe opening ceremony. And I'm like, you've just wrapped one, like, not even 2 days ago. How is this happening? So yeah, he's definitely like putting the work in. So yeah, that was the story. It was the fact that they were busy, and then people got mad. So as you do. But I think, like, even so, Li Yu Xiao and Ryan Chang, they had a CP photo shoot for this, and their CP photo shoot was so good. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Look for a TikTok video. I put a TikTok video together of it.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
So
I
I didn't like them at the beginning, but I grew to love the third couple, the sister and the guard.
Oh my god.
So
I love them together.
Because I didn't like them together, because again, here's my thing. If somebody doesn't want to be near me, why am I gonna
she was pushing it.
She was too persistent, and then she was ridiculous about it. So I was like, girl, just save it for another guy who wants it. And of course, Jin Fine loves her in the end. Yeah, the other. Oh my god!
I would have liked her with the blacksmith too.
Yes,
I would have really
the blacksmith
liked that
is
story.
into you. I couldn't understand, because there was like another hot guy that was into her, and he's a blacksmith. They had him shirtless there, like pounding on the metal, and I was like, "Girl, what is wrong with you?" With that guy.
I felt so bad that he died. Like,
I felt terrible.
So bad that he died.
You guys don't understand how much I cried the last 3 episodes.
Because everybody's dying.
I was bawling the last 3 episodes.
Because I thought he would live, especially after his dad died. I was like, oh, he's going to live on because his dad just sacrificed himself and he's going to win this fight. No, he kamikazes himself and dies.
I will say though, I also felt really, really bad for like our I don't know what they were called, the back two guys
Back
that
hill.
The gay couple.
Yeah, the
exactly.
gay
Let's
couple.
speak on it.
Let's
The
talk
gay
about
couple.
that.
Speak on it. It's so sad. Like to me,
Here's the thing. Okay, keep going. But we'll talk about it.
to me, it's so sad, especially because like they definitely have like coupley like
Yes.
vibes. They definitely had like couple vibes. Like the way they would interact with each other and the way they would bicker and whatnot. To me, they had CP vibes all over. And it's the fact that then not only does one of them die, but the other one who stays is gonna forget everything. And I'm like,
No, I thought it was the
But
opposite.
he doesn't anymore. Like
No.
since he's not becoming a child again.
It's you got it backward. Because he said this is very confusing because they throw all this at you in the last couple of episodes. But anyway, for him, because he was a child, he was practicing this sutra and he's about to break through in the last level of this sutra. And that would mean that he's basically going to renew himself and forget everything, forget this guy. So he stopped practicing the sutra and is now like aging. And they were
okay.
like, "Oh, are you okay?" Like they had a servant come in and be like, "Are you good? Because you're like aging. You're gonna age really rapidly."
Well, that's when we had the cameo from an actor
Yeah.
that I really love. So the guy who played that is Joseph Sang. I've watched him in a bunch of stuff, and I always
very
really
pretty.
enjoyed.
Very
Oh,
pretty.
I like him.
I really like him. I'm currently watching him in Romance on the Farm, and he brilliant. Like
Oh,
it's just like a fun, it's like literally about this girl who's having a really bad time in life in general, and they recruit her to go to test this game out, but you're literally like your whole body and like conscious and everything gets transported into this game, and she has to clear like certain tasks, and she starts right at the bottom. She's like a farmer, like her family's not that well off, and she has to like go through the ranks, and she meets him, and he's like a lord, but nobody knows because he's like dressed as a pauper. So yeah, it's just like one of those really fun.
I like that.
It's
I like
just
that
like
concept.
and it's pretty short. I think it's like 25 episodes or something. So I'm just I'm completely caught up with it, apart from the new episodes that came out today.
I
and
love
like
coming on here because I get so many new drama wrecks.
it's one of those that I'm just like, at the beginning I was like, oh, I'm not sure about it, but as I watched more of it, now I'm just like, I really like this. And it's like the female lead is Tian Shi Wei. She was in a couple of dramas, New Life Begins and things like this, and she just has this face, right, this big doughy eyes, and she's just like freaking adorable. So I like, she has this smile that's kind of like contagious as well. So yeah, that's the one see. I'll just go off topic, but yeah, he's
So
the
going back
actor.
to the gay couple, I didn't realize that it was a gay couple until he was like, he stopped practicing that sutra and he was aging, and eventually, like, I'm sure he's gonna die. And he was watering like that tree or whatever,
No,
that bush.
yeah.
And then he was like remembering him, and they had that scene of him envisioning the dead guy next to him, and I was like, this was a gay couple the whole time, and the kid aspect threw me off completely. The fact that it was a child and blue hair threw me off completely off the scent, and that was the moment that I was like, this is a gay couple the whole time.
A very old child.
Yes,
might you
old
add.
child.
Yeah, but still, it was a
Old
child.
child.
Like, again.
Yeah. They do this though. Like they'll like psych you out with these couples where, because that's, I think, like Wuxia and Xianxia and whatnot, they're meant, I don't think you can ever go by appearances, because they're supposed to be like 300, 400, 500, thousands of years old. So so yeah, I think with him, that was definitely like a little bit of a gay couple moment for me. I think.
Little.
Yeah,
it was so heavy-handed in the last episode or so.
But
when they're sitting there in the snow together, and he's like, "You can sit on my grave, and we'll have tea together and shit." And I was like,
the thing is, they can just about get that passed without like censorship being like, So they toe a very, very fine line when it comes to doing things like this. But yeah, I really enjoyed. Like for me, like the acting throughout the whole drama was on point. Like
Oh yeah.
it was. I think we need to like not just the acting, directing was ridiculously good. Like these fighting scenes were really
Oh.
nicely done.
Mhm.
Like, and the fact that there isn't really an OST, but the like, is it the BGM? The BGM was done like I think it was done pretty well
It's all right.
to each scene.
It could have been love like the galaxy level, but it wasn't. It was all right.
This is gonna be this is Jess's new standard. If it isn't love like the galaxy,
But the music, you're talking about this musical score,
Yeah,
right? For
yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
the, yeah, it was fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It was good. It was good. I mean, it's passable. I wasn't sitting there like I need to add this to my playlist, which is the goal, right? That's when I'm like, oh my god, it
Yeah.
was amazing because I just added this track to my playlist.
To be fair, I don't think for me this year OSTs have been like
Oh,
as
Till the End of the
great.
Moon has been on my
ooh,
Yeah, till the end of
recent
the moon.
played
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
like that is gonna be on my end of the year Spotify playlist, like the entire album. Like I listen to that
I love
all
that.
the time.
My Spotify is completely messed up because I have YouTube Premium, so I stopped using Spotify and like switched over to the YouTube. Now my partner still has Spotify and he was like, look, I'll just add you to my account, I'll pay the extra and you can have Spotify as well. And I was like, well, if you're paying for it, I'm not going to turn it down. So I've literally just started using Spotify again. So my lists are probably going to be so messed up when it comes to like the end of the year. But yeah, I think it was done well. But also, I will say one thing that I really loved about this was costume wise. Everybody was pretty much in dark colors, but it was like the embroidery on these
Yes,
things.
the embroidery.
Stunning. Like the embroidery was really, really beautiful. That shot of Zhang Ling He's character like walking up the steps with the cape behind him.
Stop.
Yeah.
Like
Stop.
the bride costumes, the
Mhm.
red and the gold.
Gorgeous.
I mean, I feel like this is one of those dramas where they basically used three colors, which was, well, in terms of like solid colors, they used the black, the red, and the white. And then it's all about the embroidery. And I'm like, this is insane because all of them were
You
styled
can have gold, you can have
beautifully.
green,
Yeah.
you can have silver
Right.
embroidery, and it's beautiful to look at. I really
Mm.
appreciated the
Mm.
costuming too, because it wasn't necessarily that they're trying to make a statement
Mm-mm.
with the different fabrics and like the different colors and the way that they're layered. It's like, no, it's a little more subtle. It's befitting of a wuxia family that's living in the valley for like
Yeah.
generations and they don't get out much, and maybe this is like heirloom type stuff.
Yeah.
It's
I
beautiful.
will say, speaking of family, I loved that basically by the end, I mean, we saw little pockets of this throughout, but like basically by the end, especially like 23 and 24, like overall, this drama is about family.
Family. Yeah.
Like it's like the Gong family,
Mm.
or what do you consider family? Is the Wufang a family? Like make your own family. Like it was all based around family and what is family and who can make up a family.
Yeah, because there was a really interesting line. Not only like one scene that I absolutely loved is when Zhang Ling He goes to confront his older brother, and then the whole of the gong, like
I love that.
that's
a good shot.
stunning. That shot is stunning. The shot of like Zhang Ling He kind of like saying goodbye to the people that have died, another like really, really beautiful shot. But it's also the fact that family can also be people you choose, and that is shown in the scene where Esther Yu's character kind of comes out to fight the older brother, and
I love this.
And she says, "But I am part of the Gong family," and he says, "I used to be part of that family." And it's like it's a beautiful contrast of someone who started off as wanting to, in theory, decimate this family and became family, and then you also had the other contrast of someone who was family and is kind of like on a path to almost destroy it, whether intentionally or not, I don't know. But it was like a really, really beautiful contrast right there, I think, between of people who are blood related and people who become family, and like it doesn't matter. It matters like your intentions to protect that, those people. And I just loved that by the end, everybody kind of like started supporting each other as families should. And
Mhm.
you saw that once that happened, they worked together so well. Like they played
Yeah.
to each other's strengths and weaknesses. And even like the little brother kind of grew to appreciate, the sword wielder, Zhang Linghe as the sword wielder, and like that little scene of the sister giving him a new glove, and he's
Yeah.
just like so like, because he is like the baby of the family, so to speak, and you could see like him being like a bit of a spoiled brat at times, but he also played his part, and I feel like
Mhm.
seeing him grow between all of the family members was really nice. I loved the theme of family in this drama. But yeah, all of those scenes where, they were really, really nicely done, I think.
I love
Well,
that theme of family. Oh, go ahead.
even with the scene with Zhang Linghe where he was talking about Jin Fan, where he was
Mm.
like when he was gonna give him the flower, and the sister was like,
The
but
flowers
like
for
we
you,
need it for
yeah.
you. But he's like, but he's my family. Like
Yeah.
he is family, and he's going to be your family because you definitely are gonna marry him.
So yeah.
But like he's family. So even with that whole concept of, because normally, obviously, in those types of relationships where you have this person, even though they grew up together, Jin Fan was his bodyguard. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be family, quote unquote. He was supposed to be a subordinate. Obviously, growing up and then they have a very tight knit like relationship. You can't not have that.
Mm.
But Jin Fan would always have this kind of this like, I'm this position, I have this role in his life. I know I'm gonna die in the third trial, which we can
Yeah.
talk about
Oh yeah,
later.
yeah,
So
Shut up.
it was like he knew that was coming. He knew that was gonna be his role.
Pig for
And
slaughter.
then yeah, and he accepted that, but then obviously Zhang Linghu's character did not accept that and was
We
No.
ain't
like,
doing
"No,
that.
he's family. Like,
I'm not
I
killing
will
him.
make my own family."
Yeah.
Le-
Yeah.
Every trial ends with Zhang Linghe going, "Are you out of your mind?"
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
doing this.
I'm not
Yes,
doing that.
exactly.
I'm gonna do it my
Exactly.
own way. And I think that's what makes him like such a
Yes.
good sword wielder. It's the fact that he's got that people touch, doesn't he? He's got like this caring touch that is gonna make him he's not weak by any means. He's not like
Yeah.
a pushover by any means, but he's got like that thing that, he wants to protect people, and he fiercely loves those around him. And
Right.
the thing is, with Jin Fan and like that whole relationship, this guy gave up being like one of the most respected, guards, like to just become a Green Jade guard, which is like pretty low on the ranks. Um, to be, Zhang Linghe's guardian. That's what he went down that path where they took him off the books and off the record and took something that he worked ridiculously hard for to achieve, to like, be known as a Green Jade, and knowing that eventually he would die and sacrifice himself. I feel like that's a beautiful, and not to feel any remorse for Zhang Linghe's character. I feel
Right.
like, it's insanely, family and, orientated, and like he just loved him so much and their bond was so strong. It's, yeah.
You get that family aspect too in the very first trial when he's getting led in the dark. He's blindfolded
Mhm.
by the OG Elder Yue.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he has this wonderful speech that he gives them where he says, "In your future life, you'll have many experiences groping forward in the dark. At that time, there might be no one leading the way. when you're alone in the dark, no matter how hard it is, you have to make the right choices because what you're shouldering is not your own fate, but the future of the whole Gong family.
And I love that they use that in episode 24 again when they're unmasking his brother. That whole speech comes back around and he uses that, and it shows that he's truly learned from his elders and from people around him. I really love that speech. I think it was a really, really beautifully done speech. So yeah, I feel like the whole family aspect of this, not only like blood related family, but
Right.
chosen family, was done really, really well in this drama.
What
Or
did you
even
think?
not chosen too, because
Oh,
the
yeah.
Wufang was not chosen.
That's literally
And
what I was
they
gonna
are
come to.
sort of like they're sort of like family, and they also chose in a way. Like
The mentor.
The
the
mentor.
mentors. Yeah, like I
They
was gonna
chose
say
to
Esther Yu's,
sacrifice.
like Esther Yu's mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Let's talk about him for a
honestly,
sec.
so like both of the mentors on social media, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this. On social media, I saw it with oh my god, I'm blanking on her name. The one who married Gong Xingju.
Oh, Liu Xiao.
Yeah,
I don't know her
Xiao,
character. Hang on, I do have all the names there.
Shangguan
Shangguan Qian. Yeah,
Qian.
Qian. Yeah.
So her mentor, and I agree with this to an extent. Her mentor on social media, people are like, "Oh, it's an unrequited love. Like he loved her."
I can see that.
And I could sort of see it.
I can see it.
Then they also said, which I don't agree with, they said that Esther Yu's mentor.
Nope. I know what you're about to say.
And I was like, no.
No.
I thought that was more of like a family, like not
that's a
necessarily like
father-daughter.
Yeah.
like a father-daughter relationship.
I even thought
so
like
I don't
brother
agree with that.
sister. I even thought like brother
Yeah.
sister, older brother
Yeah.
sister. Because
Yeah.
and see, even like with Shangong Qian and her mentor, it'd be really sticky for him to even have those feelings because like he's literally like saw her from a child. Like that would be grooming, and I'm not in the boat of
Right.
like
Right.
like do you know what I mean? But I can definitely see like that. I feel like, you know, Esther Yu's Yun Wei Shan, her mentor, I feel like he was definitely like a brother, either a brother or a father type of relationship.
Yeah.
And he was very, very, you know, caring of her to the point where he did sacrifice himself for her, and he gladly did it. And you could see, like, he was attached to both of them.
The sunrise sunset stuff.
Oh my
and then
god!
he dies while looking at the sunset. I couldn't.
Stunning. It was stunningly done. Like direct, beautiful. Like it was so beautifully directed. I'm really mad that this bloody director has so many problems because he's so good. Now
he's great. He
did direct this with, you know, the other female director Lulu. So, you know, they are great directors for this. So you know, who knows how much comes from each one of them, but I cannot say, like, I loved the directing in this show. It's just ridiculously well done. Like the connections they make, and it's like the camera angles, even it's like different camera angles for different situations, and it just emphasizes the whole scene that's happening. So yeah, that sunset one, it was beautiful.
Yeah, because she says earlier, no matter, well, not that much earlier, they like threw the flashback in the same episode. So okay, fine. But she says, no matter how long the night is, there will be a sunrise. There is no wall in this world that can stop the sun from rising. And they had this whole thing where she wanted him to see the sunrise, and he's like all about the sunset and like the darkness and the So I liked it. I liked it a lot. We have not talked about the first couple. Can we talk about them, like Yun Wei Shan?
Yeah, we can.
And because I mean, they had a lot going for them, and I love the conversations that they have, and the fact that he was like at the end of the show, he like gives her that saber, and he tells her specifically that from now on, I won't allow anyone to hurt you, even yourself, because she grew up using swords. That's all of her.
Yeah.
All of
It's
her sword play
Yeah, it's a
is with using
double-edged.
swords.
Yeah.
It's double-edged, and she makes a point of saying, if I hurt someone, I
I
can also
hurt myself too. Yeah.
Yeah. And their family uses sabers, which is a single-edged sword.
Yeah.
And so he gives her this, and he's like, I'm going to teach you how to use it. And it's this whole thing. It's a beautiful full circle thing. And then we have to talk about the line, I can warm you up.
Oh god.
Because that like made me lose sleep. Because they had the whole thing of like they were holding hands. And this is earlier in the show. They're holding hands. And he tells her, oh, your hands are so cold. And she says, yeah, well, your hands are really warm. And they had that whole thing where if you have warm hands, then you also are warm-hearted. And he goes, I can warm you up. And then he like, but they do the slow-mo thing. Everything's in slow-mo basically. But he like smirks as he's walking away and turns around after he says this line. Like he knows that he's aggressively flirting with her.
Oh my god.
Throughout the show.
It's ridiculous.
I cannot with that. Like, I can't.
It's insane. It's insane. And the thing is, he's seen as like almost a soft person, but when he turns the freaking charm on, you're like, damn. Well,
I get it why she can't resist this man, because he's so smooth.
Right. I'm gonna do an aside here and bring back. I'm going off topic again and bringing, because it's sort of on top. There's this scene going around of Facooning Palace of like Zhang He and Bai Lu, and I'm like,
shut up already. And I'm already gonna watch that show. You don't have to like convince me to watch the show. I'm in. I'm all in.
Like people are going feral over this.
I cannot wait to go.
And
feral.
I'm like, I just need this. So I'm like, so this is like, I would say Zhang He in My Journey to You is like a pre-game to what's coming, I think.
Gosh.
So let's just put it that way.
Oh my gosh.
You know I'm going to be running for that drama as soon as it comes out.
I'm going to be leaving early from work. Like,
I'm busy. I have 1 day of holiday left to take this year, and I'm like, I'm just saying.
Use it wisely. Use it wisely.
If that drama comes out on a Tuesday, I may be asking for that day off at work.
He's so cute and precious, and he said like there's something that the show did with the cinematography. I don't know what filter they used, but everybody looked like they had no facial texture.
Oh yeah, they just smooth people over.
They smooth.
That's like they do.
It's a common thing.
Yeah.
No facial texture, and I noticed it in a lot of shows, but this one it was like heavy-handed because they had so many close-up shots, and I'm like, this man looks like a porcelain doll.
Yeah.
He's perfect. There's not a blemish, hair pour on him.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. That is a very common thing, I think, that they smooth things over. It's even worse in Xianxia. Xianxia is very, very, very known for like smoothing absolutely everything out. But yeah, I think like modern dramas are becoming less so. I'm just like, dude, if you've got the money to spend, don't spend it on that. Spend it elsewhere. Like, don't
spend it on the music.
She's going there again.
I also got to say, side note, and we're gonna talk about your least favorite actress, Liliana.
Oh god.
Yes. So, let's go.
The Story of Mystics, the drama that's coming out with Liu Hao and Chen.
No, I know.
Chen Du-Ling.
So mad.
It's like a reunion of this cast. So we have the director, the same director. We have Chen Du-Ling. We have Tianji Ji-ru, the brother. We have Lester Lin, the kid, the kid in the back hill. We have Sun Chen-jun, Jin Fan. We have Omid, the SRU's teacher. We have Ryan Chen,
Oh my
and
god,
then we
it's
have
everybody.
Ami, the sister, the sister assassin. All of them are in this drama, either guest or support or main people.
I'm just so freaking mad that it's Chen Du-ling.
I know,
So
same.
mad.
Same.
Because I adore that main actor. He
Same.
does so well. And yeah, I'm just really, really freaking mad that it has to be Chen Du-ling.
Yes. Yes.
They're trying to make it happen for her.
Well, do you know what it is? She has a really pretty face. That is, you know, let's give her due. She looks really, really good in period costume. She has the face for it, right? And her acting's not bad. Like, I've seen worse. Her personality, though, leaves a lot to be desired for, and that alone, like, I don't understand. She's gotta have really good backers behind her.
She does. Yeah.
She has to. Like, I can't. And the thing is, it's like with this one that Caitlin was mentioning, I'm just thinking, am I gonna bite the bullet and watch it? Because I love everyone.
You will.
Caitlin's like, no doubt.
Okay, the thing is like I saw stills of what Ryan Chen looks like in this drama.
I'm just gonna be so mad all
I know,
the time.
I know. I think a lot of people are. But Ryan Chen looks so good in this drama.
Oh, shut up.
It's like a guest role. It's not even like a supporting role. I think he has like a guest role.
My god.
I'll just watch his scenes and like call it a day. Because
Speaking of scenes, I'm gonna get us back on track.
Yes,
there's two scenes. There's two scenes that sent me into a frenzy. So one was in episode 15 when Homegirl is under the truth serum and he asks her if she likes him. And she says no.
That was
I was like rolling around on the floor. I was like, oh my god. And he's so devastated. Then in the next episode, he tries to come up with the cure for the Fortnite flies. And he is like, oh, there's only one. Of course, there's only one.
I love that scene.
Cure. And they're trying to decide who's going to take the cure because they both have the Fortnite flies. And she makes him take it. And then he goes, I made a bet with God that you love me and that you'd give up your chance to live to me. And then he's like, that wasn't the serum. You took the serum. I was like, oh my god. The reverse Uno card that happened in that moment was perfect for me. I don't know. I'm an angsty person, so that was great for me.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the back hill for a second? Because I just don't understand what is living in the back hill that they have to have like an outpost back there. And the infinite heat is for that threat.
That wasn't said. They didn't say that.
They didn't say what was back there.
Two. They didn't say it. They just said something's living out there.
Okay.
I don't know.
I thought it was like a whole tribe or like another.
I thought it was a creature. Like I thought it was like a creature or like the walkers. It could be walkers. It could be like
walkers.
It could be
zombies.
It could be like Game of Thrones Winter Walkers again.
Yeah. Did you like the front hill or the back hill better? I was a back hill girly.
Well, they had more fun in the back hill.
They had so much fun in the back hill. And the snow falling and the freaking I just loved it.
I want to say I like the front hill, but maybe that's just I think the reason why I was front hill is because just the four leads were in the front hill and the sister and the guard. I think that was just that. Because there were characters in the back hill I loved. I did not like any of the original OG elders, but I liked all their kids and I liked like all of the younger people in the back hill.
What about the in-between space that was like in a cave system with the water? That's where they were trying to figure out the Fortnite flies situation.
Yeah.
Did you like that area?
I mean, I did, offshoot? But that was because I liked the one person who was in there all the time.
So you're basing it off of the characters that are there, not just like I can be here. This is me. Okay.
No. Because I also liked the palace of is it a palace? I like the house in the front hill too. It was like
Okay.
so ornate.
The
and-
compound.
yeah, I like the compound a lot.
All right. I did appreciate second lead's house or his room because his desk was sitting on like water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was really pretty. It was
I was like, I
really
need
nice.
this.
really pretty.
Yeah.
It must be really calming to work like that, just you
Mhm.
know, surrounded by some water.
So it
Absolutely.
must be really cold.
Yeah, yeah. But these houses are not designed to be warm, are they?
True, true.
I mean, we see their breaths. That ain't a warm breath.
True, true, true.
I don't have anything else in my notes.
I don't think I have anything else either. Like I
Oh,
think we've come to. I mean,
we had a lot of fun.
we did. It was like I still enjoyed it. I think it was still a good drama overall. Is it perfect? No, it isn't by any means. But like I said, for a wuxia drama, I really enjoyed it. So
Okay, I do have something. We haven't really talked about the trials though.
the trials!
Like we've touched on them, but we
So
haven't
the
really
trial.
talked about
What
them.
what
Do you know-
exactly do you want to talk about?
Okay, I have one question, and I don't think they said it.
Okay.
But like, so in the third trial, when he chose not to kill anybody, right? And they brought up like his brother, Shang oh my god.
Yeah.
Gong
Mhm.
Shangju. And like
Yeah.
how he killed like I think they
He didn't
basically
kill
said,
nobody.
Like I couldn't tell if he killed anybody or
No,
not,
no,
'cause
no. They
like,
said that
it was
they
a
were like, what happened
subordinate
to
or
the
somebody important or
they
something?
said he asked what happened to the Jade Guardian then? If he didn't kill him, where did he go? And they're like, oh yeah, he just took him back into the back hill and he became a red Jade Guardian. So good for him.
Okay.
Okay, I suppose that works
Okay.
too.
Okay. I missed that. I mean, I
missed
remember
that.
that part now, but like I didn't realize that was like Gong Shangju's red like guardian, like green guardian.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And then there was a fake plaque there saying like you got to kill what you love the
Right.
most and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so that was fake.
Yeah.
God.
I really am like curious of like if anybody actually has done it. Like what happens if you actually do it?
I'm thinking you.
I'm
fail.
assuming you fail. But
I'm
like,
assuming you
but,
fail.
like,
That's not the
I'm
point
wondering
of it.
because like didn't the brother, the evil brother, didn't he fail? Like he
No.
didn't get through all three trials,
No,
right?
he
Did they
didn't
say
make
which
it.
one
He didn't make through the trials.
Did they say which one he failed on?
No, I don't think so.
Because I couldn't say if
I
he
thought that
failed,
he
probably
did because he kept saying when he came back, oh, this is supposed to be your spot. You're supposed to be the sword wielder. He wouldn't
Yeah.
say that if he hadn't
No, I
passed all
don't
those
know.
trials.
Yeah.
I think
Can't
he did
remember.
pass.
Oh.
Which it would have been great if he didn't pass, and that would be another reason why, like,
Right.
you know, he went rogue, but
Right.
he passed. So
Yeah.
God, those trials. I don't think there's a.
the biggest MacGuffin of the
thought
whole
the
thing was like
trials-
those trials were the biggest MacGuffin. Second of all, were the Fortnite flies. Oh my god, they were not even a deal. Not
I
even a
thought the
deal breaker.
trials lasted too long.
True.
Like because
Mm.
I think one of the reasons why they lasted so long is because he had to keep coming back from the Black Hill.
Yeah, he had to
because
go-
he was dealing the
Dealing with
sword wielder
stuff.
at the same time trying to do these trials. So he had to like go deal with these murders that were happening all while doing these trials. Like, and I was just like, couldn't he just like delegate and like get these trials over with? Like, I understand, like you're on a time limit, buddy. Like
They're on a
why-
time crunch here. I mean, they gave him a whole 3 months.
I know. Yeah. And then him learning the last three like special swords in like 10 minutes to defeat his
Yeah, the
brother.
last trial didn't even get enough screen time.
Yeah.
Actually, and then I wish we didn't see
You just
a shirtless.
wanted him be
Where
you
was
just
the
wanted to be a
shirtless-
blacksmith shirtless
Yes!
for longer.
No, we did. You see it. You
You did see it. You wanted it to be longer though. You wanted to be a blacksmith longer.
I don't know. It was too short. I whatever. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's like
It
some
isn't.
things were extended, other things were condensed, and yeah, pacing was weird.
I thought
as
the
we said.
pacing was weird, especially with the trials.
Yeah.
But,
Anyway,
you know, I think.
glad we talked
yeah.
it over.
Yes, yes. I think we certainly did. I feel like this is going to be another long one, but hey, what's new? Although I will say, I think we kept a lot of way more on track on this one than any other episode we've done. So that's improvement. That's improvement, even with all my sidestepping. But you guys, I mean, it's just part and parcel, isn't it? So, have we got anything else to say?
I'm
Are
done.
we good?
I'm good.
Done.
I'm
I'm
good.
done. So that's it. That's been our chat on. Oh my god, I've just lost my words now. Typical. See, this is what happens. I'm all like talked out. This has been That's It. We've reviewed My Journey to You. As you can tell, you know, we overall, I think it's fair to say we overall enjoyed it, even, you know, with its flaws. So yeah, that's it. Anything else you guys want to say? Go follow these. Where can they find you guys? Because last time I forgot to do this. So if they want to go and follow you, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at DeBakPod, DaeBakPod on all the socials, especially Instagram and TikTok.
And you can follow me at No Sleep 4 Dramas on all the socials as well, especially Instagram and TikTok.
So that's it. I'll leave everything linked out in the episode notes, and we shall see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Want to find an Asian drama community? Then join the Tea and Soju Discord server, where we chat everything from C-dramas to K-dramas to J-dramas. To chat with me, check out any of the socials. Please help the podcast by rating, viewing, and subscribing wherever you listen to help others find this little corner. Lastly, consider joining Patreon to further support the podcast and receive extra content. All of the links are in the episode description. That's it. This has been another episode of the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast. I'm your host, Liliana, and I'll see you next week for more C-Drama chatter.